What's good, Canes fans and family? It is the host one, Holloway, representing the U family. Back again to give you the best content on YouTube when it comes to this U, with a blessing and an opportunity to be on Mark Rogers TV Miami Hurricanes channel to give you a pre-show and a halftime show about our Miami Hurricanes. Now, Mark gave me this opportunity, and I just want to say thank you to Mark for this opportunity. I also do an hour-long pre-show before I hop on here, doing an hour-long pre-show over on my channel, The Wholesome One. That is HOLSUM space the number one, Holloway, HOLLOWAY, the U family. So go ahead and check out my personal channel. But I'm going to give you a reason, because now I'm going to give you a nice breakdown going into Virginia Tech. Now, we have some people in the chat already. Crip CIC 47. Hi, Mr. Rogers. It's actually Mr. Wholesome. CJ Miami Kane 87 was over in my live chat just a couple minutes ago. Appreciate you coming through. Rodney Allen, what's up, fellow Canes family? Nice to see you here. Obi-Wan Kane sent me a nice, donation. Truly appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you having in here. He was reminding everybody to go ahead and hit the like button. Hurricane Logan, what up, family? Nice to see you, having been on my channel and then come right on over here. I appreciate that. Bergie, you look just like the dude that was on the other Hurricanes channel. Yeah, that was me. Appreciate you being here, man. Ben Pratt, what's up? And Ian McAllister, what up, Wholesome? Thank you to everyone that's in here. Jason Arnold, 305 Kane Rep, what's up? What's good? Let's talk about our Miami Hurricanes. The Miami Hurricanes are hosting the Virginia Tech Hokies today at 3:30. Little over an hour away from kickoff, man. And just want to say it's time for the Miami Hurricanes to step out. Now, of course, we always get emotional about our Miami Hurricanes. You can't help it, man. When you love and when you're invested, especially financially, a lot of people are financially invested into the Miami Hurricanes. But even more people are mentally and spiritually attached to this U, man. It means the world to us to have our Miami Hurricanes be successful. You see that because when we win big-time games, of course, there's always that 43,000 that's at our stadiums. But then it jumps to like 70, 80,000 when we have a packed house, when we're winning. We all would love to have the Miami Hurricanes winning week in and week out, year in and year out, month in and month out, and be into that national championship picture. But we're a little ways away from that, Miami Hurricanes family. We are. We have the talent to be there, but we need to have the scheme, the coaches, and the players all come together to be on that stage. And we are not there just yet. But if we're talking about today, if we're going to talk about Virginia Tech, this is a team that is not good. They are not good. There's no way around it. The Duke Blue Devils, a basketball school who's building a solid football program, who picks at about 7, 8, maybe 9 wins every year, blew them out 45-10. Now, depending in which Dan Enos allows our offensive players to go out there and play the offense they came here to play, an RPO spread, put up 500 yards of total offense, and run up the score on these people, then it could easily be a 38-3, a 42-10 type of game. Or it can be exactly what I predicted, a 17-14 late field goal win by the Miami Hurricanes. We are what we put on film. And Dan Enos has put on film that he is stubborn and wants to continue to run this under center, slow offense, blame offensive linemen, run the ball up the middle every other play, and hopefully somebody breaks a whole bunch of tackles and scores a touchdown. Now, you want to go ahead and throw some questions in there. And the number one question I am going to ask to everyone to start it off is, who is your breakout player on offense and defense today? I think everybody should have the same player on defense, because Trevon Hill, from what I'm hearing, it may not be true, I don't have the greatest insiders, But from what I'm hearing, Trevon Hill is starting this game in an hour. And I think he's going to go out there and raise Hell and knock some heads. And heads will roll as a result of Trevon Hill's effort for the Miami Hurricanes today. That's what I'm seeing happen. On offense, I would love for it to be Lorenzo Lingard. But I think it's going to be Jeff Thomas. I think Jeff Thomas has his breakout game today. I truly, truly think Jeff Thomas has his breakout game today. I'm going to say 2 touchdowns, 140 yards. I think that Jeff Thomas gets the deep ball. I think that Jeff Thomas gets an opportunity to maybe even break a couple tackles on a now route or a screen. But to get his confidence, I think we're going to start out with a deep bomb. I would hope so. So I'm seeing some answers in here and some I agree with. And let's go ahead and go down the line. The first answer comes from John Shields saying Lorenzo Lingard. I hope you are correct, man. That would be amazing to see Cuzzo go out there and ball. Lakers all day, though. My favorite NBA team also. I see why we get along, my brother. He says Jeff Thomas, Trevon Hill, or Bubba Bolden on defense. Logan said Mike Harley. And Logan also says on defense it'll be Trevon Hill or Gregory Rousseau. Obi-Wan Kane says defense Hill, on offense Cam Harris. Hey, man, listen. I would love to see the Dade County dog do his due diligence in Dade County, less than 2 minutes away from where he played high school ball and where he was raised at. Cam Harris, born and raised in Miami-Dade County, playing for the Miami Hurricanes. Would love to see him have a breakout game today on offense. CJ Miami Kane 87 says on offense, Brevin Jordan. And on defense, he thinks that nasty Nesta Silvera will have a breakout game today at defensive tackle. Berkey says the often imitated, never duplicated, but casually show up every now and again. DJ Dallas is going to be his offensive player breakout. Rodney agrees with him and says DJ Dallas. Lakers all day says, Hosewan, what do you think of Manny at the high school game? Yes, man, listen here. The Miami Hurricanes was built on local talent playing for the Miami Hurricanes. Of course, you had your Louisiana pool, you had your Georgia pool, you got your Texas pool, you got your Cali pool, you got your Alabama players come down every now and again. It happens. But for the most part, you had the state of Miami. And to see Manny Diaz and Coach Stephen Fields, who was the head coach of the Miami Northwestern Bulls in the early 2010s. I want to say it was either 2011 through 2013 or 2010 through 2012. I remember Artie Burns was still in high school when he was the head coach. Coming off of his stint as a GA at Miami, got the head coaching job at Miami Northwestern. To see those two faces at the Mecca. The Mecca is Trash Pile Stadium in Miami-Dade County, where some of the most sought after and greatest high school football has ever been seen was in Miami-Dade County at Trash Pile Stadium. And to see those two men, the head coach and the lead recruiter for Miami-Dade County, at the Mecca, to see one of the greatest rivalries of Miami Northwestern versus Miami Central a day before the game speaks to them understanding what this program is built off of. And, man, to see them there, it was amazing. I love Coach Fields, man. I think he's our best recruiter, man. And he helped Louisville, he helped Oregon recruit South Florida, and now to have him with that U on his chest again, being a former graduate assistant under Randy Shannon, a guy who went here, be here recruiting for us again, moving into the 2020s, it's an amazing opportunity. So let's go ahead back to our breakout offensive and defensive players. Mark Pope, they said Mark Pope should play more than Jeff Thomas. I don't even know why I read that one. Jeff Thomas, Mike Hardy, 2 touchdowns for 133 yards. Hey, to be honest with you, I don't want to sit up here and seem like I'm bashing one of our players. That would be great for Mike Harley, a local kid, to go out there and ball. It's just that simple. I would love to see him do it because he got his first score. And it's crazy because one of his best highlights was when he was at St. Thomas Aquinas and he did a now route and he broke. They literally, like, he did a little bubble. The receiver came down and crashed on the nickel that was over him. He made the corner miss and he took off down the sideline for a 40-yard touchdown in high school. Eerily similar to what he did 3 weeks ago against Bethune-Cookman and got his first career touchdown as a Miami Hurricane. You know, at the end of the day, why try to force something when you have the talent to play something else? And that's RPO spread offense, playing downfield, getting the ball out of your quarterback's hands and having our playmakers break tackle in open field. And how do you break tackles? Is when teams play off, when teams play back. And then when they come up, you make a miss, you go for a long game. Because if you have a packed house, if everybody up in front, then how do you expect to break? So I'll go ahead and leave that there. Do you all have any more questions you want to present moving forward as far as for today? Virginia Tech is starting a freshman quarterback. So things are not going to be looking, I think that they're probably going to dummy things down on offense for him. But at the same time, them dummying things down is playing a spread. Just getting the ball out of hands, everybody block somebody, and, break a tackle or two. No need to have all this super duper extralidocious stuff on offense. Tony Lyles, they just won the state championship last year. What are you talking about? I'm on Mark Rogers TV. I'm going to tone it down some. I would also love to see a special teams touchdown today. That would be huge because Miami hasn't had a special teams touchdown in a while. Haven't had somebody take a kick return or a punt return back. And for the longest, Miami was elite at that. We were the best. Nobody could tackle us. When it came to special teams. And now, because of the rule change, special teams has not been in effect. I mean, think about it. Think about it in your head right now, guys. The years of Devin Hester, the Cuzo Santana Moss, taking it to the crib, man. Come on now. Balling on special teams. Even more recently, Travis Benjamin, Lamar Miller, Duke Johnson on special teams. Now, you get to a point where you realize that the talent has spread all the way across college football. So you can't just say, all right, well, we're faster than everybody. Just run straight. Because you're starting to get some talent to over the last decade that's kind of moved out of Miami. Always Georgia had that talent, but now you got some families who are from Georgia, from Miami, who moved up to Georgia. So Georgia Tech's getting some guys who had that Miami speed growing up, in that area. Then you also have Virginia. I mean, the Virginia area has some nice football played there also. Close into Alabama, they have some nice football played there. So you got an opportunity to where the speed and athleticism has spread over the South over the last decade or so. So I get why people could say that, Miami isn't to the standard that we used to as far as speed because everybody not just in the Miami metropolitan anymore. It's all over. But at the same time, can anybody run stride for stride with Jeff Thomas right now? Stride for stride with Jeff Pope, with Mark Pope, Mike Harley. And let's not forget, D. Wiggins is probably the fastest player on our team. CJ, listen, please don't put. I love Jimmy Murphy, but Please don't have Jimmy Murphy return no punts and kicks, man. Don't do that. You know what? Murray, I would love to see Lorenzo Lingard back there. See, what I said for kick return was either Lorenzo Lingard, Nigel Bethel, or Pope. Some variation of those three on kick return to give Jeff Thomas and KJ Osborne a chance to catch their breath for offense. But on punt return, I would have either Lingard or Jeff Thomas because Jeff is just so elite at punt return. And that's how I viewed it in my head as far as being a great way to have our athletes on the field. And at the same time, I think it's a great way to have our offensive players who are young get a chance to get the ball in their hands. Yes, I know Nigel Bethel doesn't play for us anymore, Bergie, but I'm letting you know that's what I said in the offseason. Okay? Now, I've actually lost my train of thought because of that. Anyway, getting our young guys the ball in their hands and letting them go back into playing like they did in high school, man. Get the ball and run as fast as you can. Shake and bake, follow your blocks, run up the football field. And that's the way to incorporate freshmen and younger players who may not be able to get on the offensive depth chart just yet. Have them go on special teams and ball. 305 K-Rap has a question. Wholesome, in terms of our skill set at offense with our wide receivers and running backs, what NFL offense would you compare our skill set to? I would say in terms of speed, I see the LA Rams. Yes and no. I'm not really a big NFL guy because the corruption there. You might have a point. I would love to see a Chiefs offense. I would love to see that, but you need a gunslinger back there to do it. But you might have a point there, 305K rep, with the Rams, with all that under center stuff. Yeah, you got a point. They play under center, pistol, shotgun. They even do drops out of shotgun. So you have a point. Dante said, as long as we actually use the running back, wide receiver, and tight end depth to our advantage, Miami could be unstoppable, of course. We need blocking. Absolutely. I understand that. I view that point and I respect that point. Because what I see is in shotgun, there's an opportunity for a quarterback to see the entire defense. Because you're back. You're not under center, looking side to side and take a glimpse at a safety at 6'2", which you got 6'3" and above linemen in front of you, and then you got a 6'2" or so linebackers, and you're trying to glimpse at safeties under center. When you're back up 5 to 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, you can send your motions. You could move a running back over to the opposite side. You can see where blitzes are coming from. You can send a now into a blitz. You could do a little hand signal and let them know I see that blitz. And at the snap, I want you to go over here. Let me slide the line over here. But all of that happens if the offensive coordinator allows the quarterback to do so. I don't believe that Dan Enos allows Jaron to do all of those things. I think he's coddling him, and I think he's forcing him to run that offense instead of allowing the young man to ball. To go out there and play football. Do what made you a 4-star recruit, and that's playing a spread and get the ball to your athletes in open space down the football field, because if you watch Jaron Williams' highlight tape in high school, he got the ball down the field. But now you want him to keep throwing these high percentage throws because that is what got him the job. What lost N'Kosi Perry the job is when he threw the low percentage balls, they were intercepted or he was strip sacked. So they vowed him too much of a turnover machine. Tate Martell simply can't throw. You know, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Do what got you to the dance. And see, the thing that gets me is a lot of people try to use the comparison as pro style, and then you turn on Sunday football, and now the shotgun, regardless of score, is starting to drift to that 60, 70 percentile of actually being called shotgun, as opposed to even 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, where shotgun was in your 30 percentile and your majority was under center. We were still running the ball, do a little pistol here and there, do a little shotgun depending on score. But now you see the game is played outside in regardless. Of course, you need elite offensive linemen, and I would be idiotic to compare high school people who were just in high school a year ago to NFL players. That's not smart to do. But what I'm saying is the concept of playing shotgun, the concept of all that is allowed to do in a shotgun, allowed to see in a shotgun. For a young quarterback that ran shotgun all high school, why not put him in position to do what made him a highly sought after 4-star recruit, play shotgun and attack teams down the field? Why not? Host one, tell you now, if JW keep taking hits, Perry will start. There's a chance of that happening. You are right. I don't know about it, but there's a chance of that happening. Thoughts on TVD possibly taking over as a true freshman next year? Tyler Van Dyke. Maybe Enos wants his own handpicked guy to run the show. That's a good one. That's a good one. But let me ask you this, Berkey. If we were to do that, then why start a true freshman this year, and why not just go lean back on N'Kosi Perry's experience? Why not? You know? And I'm going to also say this. There comes a point where, I don't want to get on here and just brag about being right and we go out here and lose a football game because the offense isn't doing well so that I can continue to push the shotgun agenda. It would be different if Miami was averaging 24 to 28 to 35 offensive points out of the under center multiple offense stuff. But that isn't what's happening. So when you're not successful in something that we have all seen be successful with a first-time play caller like James Coley, who came here and broke records 2 years in. His first year was 2013. And got Stephen Morris sent to I gotta blow my nose eventually. Got Stephen Morris sent to the NFL Combine because of what he was able to do in a Miami offense. Throwing the ball all over the Herb Waters and Allen Hurns and Philip Dorsett and Malcolm Lewis and Duke Johnson and Clyde Walford. Then he turned around with a true freshman, Brad Kaya, and broke Ken Dorsey records as a true freshman with the same offense. And yes, there was some under center mixed in there. Of course, you have to incorporate it. But why make it your base? Why? When you have the athletes to spread it out. Here's another fun fact for you. I went back and rewatched the Central Michigan game. And the Miami Hurricanes, with the recruitment over the last 2 recruiting classes, was RPO and spread with Al Golden and Mark Richt. When they were given that ability to run that spread or RPO, and more specifically the RPO, there were 5 instances when they did that. And all 5 instances in which we ran an RPO, whether it was to Brevin Jordan, whether it was to Jeff Thomas, whether it was to KJ Osborne, whether it was to Hightower, or whether it was to Will Mallory were all 15-yard gains or more. Because that's what these young men were recruited to come here and do. Is run either a spread or an RPO offense. So when you put the players in position in which they were brought here to succeed in, instead of trying to force them to run something that's going to take a couple years, a couple games, and maybe even years, like I said before, to develop, you do what they were brought here to do, that they were in for 2 years, you succeed with 15-yard gains and touchdowns. So why are we still having the conversation is my question. Okay, Dreadlock. Going to read Dreadlock's comment. But you haven't given a reason for shotgun over under center, except that's what you want, whereas to break down the shotgun to under center to say he's better in spread. Okay. RPO is either out of pistol or shotgun. Okay. And what I'm illustrating to you, Dreadlock, is when the Miami Hurricanes run the offense in which the Miami Hurricanes players were recruited to do, it is either a first down, which in this past game was 15 yards or more, or it was a touchdown. When the Miami Hurricanes are under center, we're either running the ball or play actioning out of under center, which we do not have the offensive line because they were not recruited for under center. They were not recruited for I formation. And then we put them in position to go out there and get beat like a drum and expect them to succeed, in which they were not brought here to do. They were brought here for quick pass options RPO. And we are having slow developed plays with play action that automatically require 2.5 seconds. Because now you got to come under here and then you got to do like this and then stop like this. And now go through your progression. As opposed to already being 5 to 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, where a defense can show you what they are doing, and then you're able to attack what you see out in front of you. Okay. All righty. Also, we're getting close to kickoff here. We're about 23 minutes away from that. So pretty excited about that to see what our Miami Hurricanes are going to do moving forward, man. I hope and pray that this team comes out and plays aggressive. Because if we sleepwalk through this game, then it's going to be a problem. Then we run into what I predict to already happen is a 17-14 Miami win because of how bad the Virginia Tech team is. I think in the end we're out talented. But at the end of the day, we want to continue to run slow play offense. We want to continue to force, our players to play on something they weren't brought here to do, and then force coaching that takes years to build. Then we get the result in which that we are seeing right now. What we could do is go out here and have our players ball. And that's what all of us want to see. At the end of the day, we want to see the success for the Miami Hurricanes football program, however it's cut. However, whether we got to come out here and run a Georgia Tech offense, if it's successful, it is successful. That's how it is built up, with success and preparation. And some people, when we ran RPO in 2017, and it was either hit or miss, you know what I'm saying? Most people were happy with the product because we were winning. But then sometimes we had some horrific third down percentage. Now we turn around and had the same horrific third down percentage, if not worse. We are 10 of 44 on third down in a 4-game stretch. 10 of 44. That's horrible. We're very successful on first down. But after a while, the same dive isn't going to keep working, week 5 that it did week 1. This Virginia Tech freshman quarterback is a guy who he's a little bit more nimble. I think that they're going to really spread it out and just let the guy do his thing as far as running out the pocket and things of that nature. And I'm really hoping we don't pull that 3-down, 1 spy thing because Miami Hurricanes players play better when we're aggressive, as opposed to being passive and then just reacting to stuff. But Coach Blake Baker is one of those coaches who got up in front of the camera and illustrated the fact that he has not put our players in position, and there's some things he needs to change. Unlike some other coaches, he was one that got up there and said that. So I'm excited to see what he does bring to the table moving forward for the Miami Hurricanes, and I'm hoping that it's a 4-down, 4-down lineman, 3rd-down attack. That's what I'm hoping moving forward. Anything else you guys want to talk about? So we had our breakout on both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive. And there was a different type of mix on offense as far as Mike Harley and Jeff Thomas. And even I said, I hope Jaron Williams has his breakout today. I had some Cam Harris's. But for the most part, the consensus on defense is either Trevon Hill or Nestor Silvera. And I honestly think Trevon Hill might go out there and just have a game changer. He might just probably have 4.5 sacks in this one game by himself. Let's do this. How many sacks do you all think that our defense gets today? How many sacks you all think today? I'm going to say 4. Hopefully. I'll say hopefully we get 4. Johnny, I'm not the one that does that. If you want to be able to see links to the game, go ahead and check out Coach Coop during the game. He's going to fire up his live here in about 10 or 15 minutes if he hasn't already fired up his live. But he has links in his description where you can go and watch the game. I use them for my laptop, so go ahead and find that. Four sacks. John Shields says 4 sacks. Bergie says 3. Dreadlock says 6. Okay, Dread, my fellow Dread, how many of those sacks you think come from Trevon Hill? 10 sacks? Murray, you funny. Unless Trevon Hill gets 5 of those and the rest of the team gets the other 5, which could happen. Okay, Johnny says 5 sacks and 3 by Trevon Hill. Okay. 4 sacks. Okay, you're a little ahead of yourself. So Dred, you said okay. So you said 6 total sacks, but you think 3 sacks to come from Trevon Hill. What about the 2.5 you got in the comment section? Where's that from? Oh, so 3 from the team and then 2.5 from Trevon Hill, or how's that breakdown work? Wait, I got Hulu. There's ACC Digital Network on Hulu. Boy, y'all don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. The Punisher. What's up, man? What's up, man? Either or. Okay. CJ okay. Rodney Allen says 6 sacks. CJ Kane says Nestor with 2 sacks, Hill with 2 sacks, and then Rozier with 1.5. Okay, so 5.5 sacks. Bergie says, I mentioned earlier that if Nestor can provide solid push up the middle, it would change things for the defense. This is what I mean. the ends will eat big time if middle collapses. Absolutely, 110%. And that's why we are missing Gerald Willis so much, because of the pressure that he would send up the middle would help our edge rush, because you have nowhere else to go. Either you're going to step up into a Gerald Willis sack, or you're going to have to run outside to a Joe Jackson or a John Garvin sack. So I do agree with that. Maybe it's really going to help take that next level. Okay, Drab, boy, y'all, I got that Hulu. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to get on that Hulu. Let's see what that thing is there. Okay, Is a Goat says 4 or 5, 2 from Trevon Hill, 1.5 from Rozier, 1.5 from Garvin. Is a Goat, man. Honestly, if I don't put a PSA out for John Garvin, so hopefully this helps. Good luck to today, guys. I hope you have a great game. See y'all later. Oh, George. Okay. You right about that, Obi-Wan? That would be great to see Gervin Hall get a pick 6, man. Get that turnover chain on. Yeah. I would love to see that. And, you know, it's nothing like having – and people, you know, you look at Aaron Donald, and not to compare our players to Aaron Donald, but you see the fact that Clay Matthews is having a career year because of what Nessa is doing, of what Aaron Donald is doing up the middle. Consistent pressure. Him and Dante Fowler are having edge rush. See what happens. So hopefully our exterior defensive linemen do well today. That would be huge, man, if we can get that production out of our guys today. That would help out a lot. Honestly, it really would. So the game is on ESPN today, so we don't need the ACC network, is what you're saying. The Canes are on ESPN. Okay. I'm with that action. So we're getting close to kickoff, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get up out of here, man. And at the end of the day, man, our Miami Hurricanes have an opportunity to go out here and play. Every single week, the Miami Hurricanes, excluding bye weeks, of course, have the opportunity to get on the football field and show what we are in 2019. We can't be the 2018 Canes. God, I hope we're not 2018 Canes. We can't be the 2017 Canes. We can't be the 2016. We can't be the 1998. We can't be the 1987. We can't be the 1991. We cannot be any of those teams. But what we can be is the best of the best, the 2019 players in which that we have. That's what we can be. And that's what I hope our players understand, is that we want the best that you can be. We want the best that Nesta Silvera, the best that Trevon Hill, the best that John Garvin, the best that Shaq Quarterman, the best that Jaron Williams. We want the best that you can be. Although the blueprint has already been put in, you have seen what it looks like on the U and the U Part 2. But in order for you all to have your names in the Raptors at the Carousel, in order for you to be in the green room on day 1 of the NFL draft and fill it up again so our head coaches are at those NFL draft again, it's by going out there and giving the best that you can do at 110% for the name on the back, the U that's on the side of your helmet, and the Miami across your chest. This has been the host, One Holloway, representing the U families. Miami versus Virginia Tech pregame show on Mark Rogers TV. Don't forget to tell your lovers and your haters that you do love them, and that there is nothing that they can do about it always being about this you. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the host one, my official channel. Swing on over there and subscribe. Thank you all for coming here. I've been doing over 2 hours of live while sick. Y'all be blessed. Have a great one. And I'll see you at halftime. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out.